Hello students, this is the first chapter from your Hornbill book, The Portrait of a Lady, written by Khushwant Singh. Let's have a look on about the author. Khushwant Singh was born on 2nd February 1915 and died on 20th March 2014. He was an Indian author, lawyer, diplomat, journalist and politician. His experience in the 1947 partition of India inspired him to write Train to Pakistan in 1956, which became his most well-known novel. And on behalf of this novel, one film was made came in 1998. As I've told you that he was born on 2nd February 1915 in Punjab, and these are the two creations: Train to Pakistan, agnostic Khushwant. He was author and journalist by profession and lawyer too. His father's name was Sir Sobha Singh and his mother name was Viran Bai. A Khushwant Singh short story is not flamboyant but modest, restrained, well crafted. Perhaps his greatest gifts as a writer is a wonderful particularity of description. London Magazine, Khushwant Singh first established his reputation as a writer through the short stories. Means his reputation as a writer was being introduced by the London Magazine. His stories, wry, poignant, erotic, and above all, human, bear testimony to Khushwant Singh's remarkable range and his ability to create an unforgettable world. Spanning over half a century, this volume contains all the short stories Khushwant Singh has ever written, including the delightfully tongue-in-cheek The Maharani of Chotiapuram, written in 2008. Khushwant Singh's stories enthrall, an ability akin to that of Somerset Maugham, the ability to entertain intelligently. India today, his stories are better than any Indian writing in English. Times of India. These are the thoughts by the newspaper used to quote these according for Khushwant Singh. Times of India, the collected short stories leaves the reader in a delightful, inebriated trance. In Sunday Chronicle, he is not an ordinary story writer. Is delightfully reading Hindustan Times. Means these are some quotes which has been given by the famous newspapers about Khushwant Singh. Let's come to the summary of the portrait of a lady. The portrait of a lady is written in first person and is in the biographical mode. In this story, the writer gives a detailed account of his grandmother with whom he had a long association. Khushwant Singh recalls his grandmother as a short, fat, and slightly bent. His silver hair was scattered untidily on a wrinkled face. She hobbled around the house in white clothes with one hand resting on her waist and the other telling the beads of a rosary. Underline this word, beads of a rosary. Khushwant Singh remembers her as not very pretty but always beautiful. He compares her serene face to that of a winter landscape. During their long stay in the village, grandmother woke him up in the morning, plastered his wooden slate, prepared his breakfast, and escorted him to school. While he studied alphabets, he read the scriptures in the temple attached to the school. On their way back home, she fed stale chapatis to stray dogs. The turning point in their relationship came when they went to live in the city. Now the author went to a city school in motor bus and studied English, law of gravity, Archimedes' principle, and many more things which she could not understand at all. Means the city life was totally different, and she was not aware about city life, so she was quite uncomfortable over there. But as she was so much attached to Kushwant Singh, then that's why she went with him. Grandmother could no longer accompany him to school nor help him in his studies. She was upset that there was no teaching of God and scriptures at city school. Instead, he was given music lessons, which, according to her, was not meant for gentlefolk, but she said nothing. I mean, she used to observe the things, what is going on, and how the life is totally different from village, but she was totally mute. She said nothing. When Khushwant Singh went to a university, he was given a separate room. The common link of this friendship was snapped. Grandmother rarely talked to anyone now. Means this is the next phase of her life. She spent most of her time sitting beside her spinning wheel, reciting prayers, and finding the sparrows in the afternoon. Sorry, feeding the sparrows in the afternoon. When the author left for abroad, grandmother did not get disturbed. Rather, she saw him off at the railway station. Rather, she came to see of him. Seeing her old age, the narrator thought that it was his last meeting with her. But contrary to his thinking, when he returned after a span of 5 years, grandmother was there to receive him. Now, according to this, you can see how much she used to love Khushwant Singh. She was waiting when he will come back, she will celebrate and everything. Due to that only she was alive. As her age was not that much that she could survive alone, but still she never gave up, and when he returned came back, she celebrated the occasion by singing songs of the home coming of a warrior on an old dilapidated drum along with the ladies of the neighborhood. Next morning she got ill. Means this is the next phase when Khushwant Singh came back, she celebrated. Now she is satisfied. Whatever she has done till her last breath, she is satisfied that Khushwant Singh is with her now, and next day only she got ill. Although the doctor said it was a mild fever and would go away soon, she could foresee that her end was near. She could foresee means she could feel that now her life has come to an end. She did not want to waste time talking to anyone. Now she just kept quiet. She lay peacefully in bed praying and telling the beads till her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. Beads means she used to have those, वो माला होती है जिससे पूजा करते हैं, बुड़बुड़ाते हैं. Beads till her lips stopped means वो बुड़बुड़ाने लगी. But she lays peacefully in her bed. Now why she lay peacefully? Because she was having Khushwant Singh beside her, and this satisfaction she was having in herself, that's why the peace was there on her face. To mourn her death, thousands of sparrows flew in and sat scattered around her body. Even she was a nature lover, that's why the sparrow used to come and sits beside her. So when she died, sparrows flew in. They came in and scattered around her body. There was no chirping, and when Khushwant Singh's mother threw breadcrumbs to the sparrows, they took no notice of the breads. They flew away quietly when the dead body of grandmother was carried away for the last rite. Means they were with the soul. They flew away with the soul. This shows that when grandmother was taken to the last rite, they were just accompanying the soul of grandmother. So beautifully it has been explained. Thank you, students. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching.